Okay, we are going to do something very different today. Because I've got the time to. We're going to do a spread called Many Lives, Many Masters. Okay, and in tarot we work on the assumption that you've had many past lives. But this spread is designed to look at a past life that is relevant to your life right now. You know, what is going on with you? Something that's relevant to you right now, a life that you've previously led. Okay, we'll find out aspects of that life and karma carried forward, so talents or challenges that result from that. Okay. Oh, what a mess. I can't believe I just did that. I don't want any more burns on the carpet. Oh, I need to get something to go beneath the desk where I do my readings because there's so many burns on the carpet. So it's going to be a 4-card spread. The top card is going to be one of the major arcana, and that's going to indicate which past life is coming through for you. Okay. Hi, welcome into the chat, Augusta Hollins. Okay, so I keep forgetting to put the zodiac sign up. Starting off with Aries then. Look at this mess. Oh. That'll teach me to blow the sage out. Okay, so please, Spirit, can you give me a major arcana for Aries to indicate a past life that's relevant to them now? The Fool. Okay, so the Fool represents an adventurer or a romantic hero. That's you, Aries. You are an adventurer and somewhat of a romantic hero. Okay, let's get 3 minor arcana, and these will show us aspects of that past life that's coming through for you. Okay, we've got the 2 of Cups reversed. The 8 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Let's get one more. The 8 of Pentacles upright. Okay. You know what it's giving? We've got the 2 of Cups reversed. Sorry, I just realised you can't see these. You can see now, can't you? The 2 of Cups reversed is like in love or business, there's a mismatch, you know, like it's a bad match. Then we've got the 8 of Wands, which is fast action, progress, fast communication, and the Knight of Wands, which is someone who's very impulsive. So whether it was to travel around and be an explorer, or whether it's to pursue romantic, commitments. I think you go in full throttle, and this probably is like part of your character in this life. Okay, that's why you've had many lives, you've had many past lives. In tarot, we work on the assumption that you've had multiple past lives. But this particular these characteristics are like most likely how you are in your day-to-day life and what dictates and influences your decision-making processes. You jump in, you jump all in, okay? So the challenges and the talents that come through are you are incredibly determined, incredibly committed, and sometimes when you jump in feet first and you're the fool, it doesn't always work out, right? So you're kind of destined to work really, really hard, work your ass off, which you are the emperor, but growth and expansion is your destiny, okay? So you might be someone who's works extremely hard, but it's like your karma is to work alone. It's to grow alone, okay? I'm not saying you're never going to be in love, but you've learned from a past life and probably from mistakes in this one not to jump in with people. Does that make sense? You could have had a big price to pay, or you could have felt trapped with the wrong kind of partnership. And you're growing and expanding on your own to become the Nine of Pentacles, okay? So I hope that makes sense, okay? Well, let's go on to Taurus. Taurus, let's see. You've had many past lives, but let's see which one is coming through for you. What's relevant to you in your life at this moment? Spirit, which past life is relevant for Taurus in this moment? Star. Okay, so the star represents a spiritual guide or light worker. Taurus, you may feel that whether you've harnessed this professionally or it's something that tends to happen in your personal life, that people enjoy your company, they feel calm and safe around you. You're able to create the correct environment for people to open up. I found this in my career. I found that people, young people, they will always disclose to me. They will pick me to disclose something really, about their safety. In their immediate environment, they disclose to me. I don't know why they pick me, but they do. And then in my romantic life, I come into people's lives when they're in a time of chaos, okay? And then someone suggested to me that I was a light worker, and it seemed to make sense because every single person that came into my life romantically seemed to be going through a major transition or was in need of going through a major transition. And I thought, this is really unfair. This is like taking loads out of me, and it's making me feel really drained, really unhappy, really down. It's taking my sunshine, and they're getting all the benefit, and then they're moving on. And then I sort of like came to terms with it, and I've made peace with it. Do you know what I mean? Because I have had successful relationships, but I've had an unusual, it's like an abnormal amount of people come into my life that are chaotic, and going through drama. So this really resonates for me. I can't believe the star card came out. So let me say it again. It's someone who's a spiritual guide, a light worker. So you could... I've just knocked so much stuff over, guys. That's so bad. It doesn't matter. I should have cleared the table. There's no drinks or anything, so that's fine. I want that standing up. What a mess. Oh, what a messy person I am. Right, I'm just going to move these because they're all going to get mixed up, aren't they? I didn't want to tidy up because I'm a lazy Taurus. I'll put loads of effort into stuff I do want to do, but if I don't feel like tidying up, I won't. Right, if you just come in, we're on the sign of Taurus. And the past life that's relevant to you at this point in your life, Taurus, is a spiritual guide, a kind of light worker. So you could be a mentor, you could be a teacher, you could be someone that it hasn't, you know, become a profession for you, but you just feel like people open up to you, whether that's young people or people your age or people who are older. They tend to, you know, reveal all where they're not really. I've had people do that for me where they're not really that way inclined. They don't really like to open up to others. But they do to me, so, and quite quickly as well. Okay, so let's see which minor arcana are going to come out. What can I put there? What? I don't want my things to fall down. There we go. So in a past life, this is a natural role for you because in a past life, this is what you did. Right, aspects of this past life. The Seven of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. Ooh, Seven of Wands, let me think. Seven of Wands is competition. Seven of Wands is being combative, trying to keep the high ground. Eight of Pentacles is growth and expansion. It's hard work. It's developing and honing your skills. Let's get another one. King of Swords. King of Swords is air energy. It's someone who's very intellectual, a very good public speaker. Can you see these? It's like, you know what's weird to me? That's Aquarius energy. And you've got the major arcana for Aquarius. You know how I'm thinking of like Jesus now, the way that he moved around and told his, you know, stories and like raised awareness and tried to guide people. It's like that. If you think about centuries gone by, and thousands of years ago, people would have listened to what you have to say. They would have appreciated to feel safe around you, to receive guidance, to receive compassion. They would have felt very inspired, motivated by the things that you say. Let's get one more. This is so interesting. So challenges and strengths that are carried through into this life because of that past life, that specific past life, because we've had many past lives. You would have known a lot of people in the community. You could have had a romance because of this ability that someone's seen in you. You may also have collaborated with another person who was spiritual. And this could have caused a lot of expansion. Okay. You're well liked and well received. Okay, it's a strength that people. It's not something that people immediately see about you. It's like over time, you become like a valued part of any community because people feel that you bring a lot of happiness to them. Whether that's through counsel or entertainment, you know, profoundness, they like it. So I hope that resonates for you, Taurus. You may have a lot of Taurian friends. Okay, I'm not saying you're not friends with anyone who's not Taurian, but you may have like a lot of friends who are also Tauruses because you know, spiritual teachers and intellectuals tend to gather with other spiritual teachers and intellectuals. It's a way of like flexing that muscle in the brain. Okay, it's like it's just part of who you are, so why wouldn't you gather around with other people like that? Okay, that needs to go there. They need to go there. Okay, let's go on to Gemini. What sign are you, Brady? I'm doing each zodiac sign. I'm on to Gemini. I've just done Aries and Taurus. They're about 10 minutes each reading. Cancer. Okay, so you're after this one. Okay, so Spirit, please indicate to me which past life, because we've had many of them, which one is relevant to Gemini at this moment. I'm so excited to like turn these cards over. The Empress. Oh my god. Okay, so the Empress is the creator. So you are likely to be a fantastic artist or homemaker. Okay, so the Empress can create from zero as many times as she needs to because she has everything within her. Okay, so her skills, her talents, they travel with her. So if you're going to be a successful artist, you know, you can do that around the world. If you're going to be a homemaker, you can make any building beautiful and comfortable, and you know, that will be like a strong part of who you are. Okay. So Gemini, that's something that you may have a natural talent or flair for, and you've always wondered why. You may have an eye for interiors, exteriors, and you like gardens. You may be good at changing properties and getting them ready for resale. You may be naturally good at drawing, whether that's graphic art and design or, you know, painting, working with working with the earth, you know, like pottery, working with clay, sculpting out of stone. Working with mixed media, anything like that. You could be a stay-at-home mum or a stay-at-home dad, or you could be someone that works and, you know, and has just a beautiful home. People, when they come to visit, they stay many hours, okay? Then they don't feel compelled to leave. They don't feel compelled to leave. This is because you were an artist or a homemaker in a previous life, okay? Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. That's about planning and taking action. Seven of Cups. This is about being at a drawing board and, you know, when you've got a blank canvas and you're like, right, what do I want? Where do I go from here? It's about being at crossroads and having many options. Okay, karma brought through into this life. So this is either challenges or strengths. Four of Cups and the Five of Swords. Ooh. You may struggle to get people to compromise, to get people to accept your artistic vision or the way that you would like a household to be managed. It may cause disagreements, okay? And it's because you know what you're talking about and you're used to doing that. You're used to managing a home, managing projects, working solo. And you could feel very, very strongly about, you know, the things that you do within your home. You may not enjoy to have so much input, or you may find that you actually want a more peaceful environment. You don't want so many visitors, you don't want so many, you know, like you'll find when people do arrive, but you like a lot of time without visitors. Like your home is your like temple, do you know what I mean? I think you've been like a bit of a visionary and someone that loves to plan and take action, someone that's goal orientated, someone that has lots of vision. You change the environment many times because you get bored if you don't, right? Style and like colour, shape, pattern. Remodeling, like total remodeling. You may in this life, you may be someone that flips houses, you may be someone that's a property developer. If you haven't already explored working with natural materials like clay, like stone, metals, try some things like that. If you haven't tried painting, try some things like that because you could have some untapped talents, okay? All right, I'm going to leave that there. Very interesting. On to Cancer next. Okay, so Spirit, please indicate which past life is relevant to Cancer at this moment. We've all had many past lives, okay, but we're just going to look at one, and it's one that's relevant to you now. Cancer, okay? The Lovers. Okay. There's not too much to say about this one, okay, other than you could have had very, very important loves in your life, or if you're a younger person, you're going to have very profound loves in your life, okay? People that you feel like are home, people that it's just easy with. That's because you've agreed to have a contract with them in the 5D, okay, before you become on the 3D plane. These kind of relationships are they're destined, they're divinely guided. So whether you've experienced that already or you feel like you've had many loves that are great, this is one of your past lives, okay? Where you've managed to find like absolute pure like soulmates. It's definitely a romantic partner and definitely someone that feels like they're on your wavelength, you agree over most things, it's easy, you feel safe, you feel like you hold them in such high regard, it's like a member of your family, okay? If it hasn't happened yet, that's destined to happen, that's your karma. That's being carried forward into this life. So I don't know whether you view that as a challenge or a strength, but it's a nice one to get out. You are a lover. Natural born lover. Okay, let's see what happened. I need to pull the minor arcana. Aspects of this life. Aspects of this life. Four of Pentacles. You could have felt very possessive over this person. You could have felt, a lot of jealousy, panicked, that maybe you're with someone beautiful or someone handsome and that they were going to be taken from you. You could feel very possessive or mistrusting. Four of Pentacles is the miser. It's someone that wants to conserve a situation, to preserve a situation. The Six of Wands. Victory, recognition, success, feeling like you're being noticed and celebrated. This person could have made you feel absolutely amazing, completely thrilled. Ace of Swords. Okay, so karma brought forward is the Ace of Swords. It's like absolute clarity, truth, confession, major revelation. You could have felt like your soul's met its own soul. Do you know what I mean? Like a soul, proper like soulmate union. Like this is your ride or die. No one's going to take them from you. You're going to experience this in this life if you haven't already. You may be someone that has lots of great loves in your life. I think when you do have this, you're going to be very possessive because it's going to make you feel so good. And it's going to make you feel complete. It's going to make you feel so whole. You may have one great love, when people get married and they're just together for decades until the day they die. Like, it's something is relevant to your life at the moment to do with the lovers. So it could be predictive that about what's to come. Okay, on to Leo. Spirit, please can you indicate which of Leo's past lives is going to be relevant to them at the moment? The Emperor. Right, the Emperor is the leader, the warrior. So you could have actually ruled a kingdom, a province, an empire, multiple countries. You could have been a serious leader. If you weren't the leader, you were the warrior that that leader strongly relied upon, okay, to lead an army or be the front guy going into a war. You could have been someone that someone that was very, very inspirational, motivational, and kept royalty safe. Ooh. That's very interesting because Leo is fire energy and so is the Emperor. Let's get some minor arcana. The Five of Swords is obviously there's a lot of arguments, conflict, jealousy. There could have been a lot of competition, crosswords spoken, okay, feuds, threats being made. The Two of Cups. There's a very, very strong partnership, whether it's with your leader or you were the leader and it was with the warrior. You know, it's that element of stronger than a relationship for a lot of males is the men that they surround themselves with, having respect from them, being able to rely upon their loyalties. In a lot of empires, or especially if you think of the Holy Roman Empire, it wasn't uncommon for same-sex relationships because people had so much respect for each other. They would experience such intense environments and situations together, like life and death. They would live and die by the sword, so they would literally give their life for each other. So it's very extreme, okay. So there could have been same-sex or just a great love there, or really strong alliance, allegiance. What that's carried through into karma-wise, whether this is strengths or challenges, is sometimes you're not sure who to trust or who is the best option for you, and you may have the ability to connect with a lot of people, which may cause promiscuity or being non-committal. And it's not that you are not caring of people, and it's not that you're not appreciative of them. It's that you find very, very intense bonds wherever you go. It's someone with a very big heart, and probably very attractive. This can be a challenge of yours as well as a strength, Leo. A lion, when it's wounded and scarred, is the saddest thing, but it's also it remains revered and held in extremely high regard, almost higher for what they've been through. Okay, I hope that resonates. I hope it's relevant. Let's move on to Virgo. Okay, Spirit, please can you pull a card to show me which of Virgo's past lives, because we've all had many, which one is relevant to Virgo right now? The Hierophant, okay. The Hierophant is someone who is a go-between. They can be a public servant or spiritual authority. Okay, the Hierophant is the teacher. Okay, it's someone very wise, a good advisor. Using wisdom from life experience and sharing that. Okay. Virgo is represented by the Hermit, so answers lie within people themselves. So you have to be a very profound person, someone that can encourage people to be spiritual, to have faith, to trust, to know that everything happens for a reason, to reflect, to grow. This is something that you were and did in a previous life, okay, was to be some sort of teacher, someone that, literally served the public in some sort of way, spiritually or, education-wise. Aspects of this life. The Ten of Pentacles. You could have made a lot of money. You could have made a lot of money doing this for people, okay? People seeking counsel or receiving some sort of service from you. Created a lot of wealth and stability, probably like in different cultures, the going rate would be much higher than in others, because it's treated like you're some sort of oracle, it's invaluable, it's priceless information that you're giving. So you were very wealthy from this, like given massive respect. Three of Swords. There was heartbreak, heartache. You were heartbroken over someone. I'm not getting lost, I'm getting like, someone left. Someone broke your heart. Queen of Wands. Because of that, the karma that's been brought forward is that you're, like a cat that sleeps with one eye open and is very sensitive. They look like they're sound asleep, but if anyone walks past that couch, the eye opens. This is how you operate now, Virgo, with a lot of mistrust. And you can take that as a strength and you can take it as a challenge as well. But you expect people to cross you. You expect people to do wrong. You know that not everyone has good intentions, and this is your karma, is that you desire to show everybody to sleep with one eye open, okay? With a dagger under their pillow, because you recognise that some people are just fundamentally bad. And it makes you very determined. You don't lie down and take it. You've had to learn. You've had to learn to fight back, to stand up for yourself, to find justice, to always win. And you can probably be quite vengeful if not a lot of people expect that about Virgos, but you could be very vengeful when people do wrong by you or desire to seek revenge. You know, there could have been a lot of deception, lying, cheating, stealing when it comes to relationships, serious relationships. Okay, moving on to Libra. Spirit, please give me a card to represent the past life of Libra. A past life, because we've had many, but one that's relevant to Libra in their life now. That was straight away. The Last Judgment. You could work with the law. You could be an actual judge. You could be working in a prison. You could be working for the police. Anything where justice is brought, okay? The judicial system. Ah, Mojo's here. I've already done Gemini. You'll have to rewind. Hi, Rose. Or Rose. Rosa. I don't know. Rose. Rosa. Yeah, scroll back. The Last Judgment. Yeah, so you know someone that's brought in to assess a situation. You could be like an examiner, you know, like a driving instructor, but you have an examiner. Or you could be someone that assesses people in their career. You somehow had in a previous life, in one of your previous lives, you had the authority and the reputation and the, what's the word that I want? You had the powers to say yay or nay, guilty or not guilty, you've passed or you've failed, okay? That is something that, this is so weird, you know, how these relate so well to, the zodiac signs, the major arcana for the zodiac signs. Okay, let's see what went down, aspects of this previous life, and then we'll look at karma brought forward into this life. King of Cups. Okay, so the King of Cups is someone that's very compassionate, very generous, patient, understanding, forgiving. Ooh, okay, see where that's coming in. The Four of Cups and the Queen. Look how many cups there are here. Like, what is going on? The Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Four of Cups is about being closed off to offers of emotion from others. You're a little bit hostile, a little bit like prickly with people that are trying to give you praise. Queen of Cups. We've got the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Why would you be closed off to a Queen of Cups? I wonder if you felt like love softened you too much, or you know, you needed to be like hyper focused, hyper vigilant over like what you were doing. If you felt that love was too much of a distraction. You could have quarrelled a lot with, you know, Librans are strange because they desire to be in a relationship when they are single, and when they are in a relationship, they desire to be single. You're constantly striving for balance, okay? So you may find it difficult to actually feel a sort of equilibrium, whether you're single or in a relationship. It's like this, you can't quite get it right, do you know what I mean? You can't get the scales to balance. Karma brought forward is the Eight of Swords. So you're an overthinker. We know this about Librans, okay? You're very analytical. You're constantly weighing things up, looking at both sides, and you can be indecisive, massively indecisive. You can also confuse yourself, talk yourself out of things. It's like the mind became the master of you. Okay, you are not the master of your mind. So this is like a challenge. This is definitely a challenge, more than it is a strength. How will you find balance, and at what point will you find balance? Are you able to have a divine union? Are you allowing yourself to accept a partnership? Would you constantly like look at both sides of things and then confuse yourself, you know? Because we got a King of Cups and a Queen of Cups here, and she's being rejected. What I'm saying is you may actually struggle with relationships. You may find friendships that you understand those a lot better, because it's not a case of deciding yes or no. It's not like having such a big impact on your life. You may just find the sense of commitment is way too much. Thanks, Mojo. There's a couple of non-believers in today. Okay, on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, who were you in a previous life, and which previous life is relevant to you right now? Spirit, can you please select a card? The Fool, okay. The Fool is the adventurer, the romantic hero. Okay, so you are Scorpio, you could be someone that jumps in feet first. When you like someone, you really like them, okay, and then you like commit to them early on, without taking the time to get to know them. You could find yourself doing this with activities. You may be someone that jumps into things like feet first with travel, with sport. You got that leap of faith, you know, vibe going on. Like, let's just go for it, and then we'll worry about it after. Like, aspects of this life. Ooh, what's this? You could have ended up making a home with someone and being happy but then ended up leaving and walking away. Okay, so obviously everyone's got the right to change their mind, but yeah, there could have been this situation where, with the best of intentions, you know, you created children, you created a home, and then, you know, felt that it wasn't a good alliance. Like, could have gone toxic, or it could have been, you know, that you just have to co-parent from different locations, different abodes. And it's through the best of intentions, you know, there was no malice, like, whatsoever, such as life. The King of Wands, someone who is very ambitious, goal-orientated, dreams big, you know, action-orientated. Attractive. A little bit in their ego. Three of Pentacles, karma brought forwards. It's this sense of, like, when you join a workplace or a relationship, you work your arse off at it. You enjoy to commit to it, okay? And this is, I think this is a strength, but if you go too fast, it could be a weakness, okay? So remember to take your time with things, okay? Because this is definitely your karma. Is that you're very you have the best of intentions, you throw yourself into stuff, and you have a good deal of success, but not everything is worth, like, jumping into so quickly or so easily, okay? It could get you into hot water. Baby in my bed, oh my god. We've had a couple of non-believers in today. Okay, we're on to Sagittarius. Okay, Spirit, please can you give me a card for Sagittarius? We've had many past lives, but the past life, please indicate the past life that's relevant to Sagittarius at this time. The Strength and the Hermit. Why have you got two things? That's not fair. Okay, so interestingly, they're next to each other. The Strength card represents someone who's courageous. The Hermit card is the academic and the mentor. Ooh. That's very cool, because you tend to think of academics as people who are, like, more nerdy. They didn't really put their neck on the line, but perhaps you were, you know, somewhat of a warrior, or very protective of your town or province or area. You could have worked literally hand in hand with a leader of some kind. The one who has courage, the academic, the mentor. You need, like, an advisor to a king or an emperor. I think that's cool, that's cool. Okay, let's look at aspects. I've done Cancer, Alex, you just need to rewind, okay? It's probably about 15 minutes in, something like that. Ace of Wands. You know, like, what I'm thinking of is like a chessboard where you have to be really strategic, and you like an advisor, like a royal advisor or something. I feel like many places were conquered through your wise counsel. Because the Ace of Wands is like strong success. A strong success, like someone who's very bold, very inspirational, motivational, but very, very clever. Very, very wise, very strategic. A lot was achieved, a lot of success. Knight of Cups. I think you experienced love in maybe more than one location. The Knight of Cups is like, you know, like Romeo, the way he's like ridiculously optimistic, and like Juliet as well, like star-crossed lovers, and they won't be kept apart. Like the distance creates like it like heightens the like excitement, the like ecstasy from these kind of long distance relationships. Ace of Cups, look at that. You could be someone that, you know, like when you fall in love, you act like that with your person, like you work very well with them to achieve certain goals. You're very like motivating for them, you give them good counsel. It looks extremely positive. That's really nice, Sagittarius. I mean, when you look at your zodiac, you're represented by the Archer, so that is about positioning yourself, steadying yourself to aim, you know, and you shoot to win, you don't shoot to miss. It's like that's very cool. I like that. Okay, let's go on to Capricorn. Where's everyone watching from? Okay, Capricorn. Spirit, please can you give me a card to represent out of the many past lives that Capricorns had? Which one is relevant to them right now? The Hierophant, okay. The Hierophant is the go-between, okay, the public servant, the spiritual authority. So you could have worked in like local government, local authority. You could have been a teacher. Anything where you're serving the public. Teaching, mentoring. Someone who's wise from life experience, okay, so someone that is no longer the student, they're the teacher, because they've had a long life with a lot of experience. Like even when you were young, you had an old soul. Someone with acquaintances of all ages, okay, like including those much older than them. The Four of Wands, okay. You're viewed as, and you were viewed as, someone very stable, Capricorn, someone very loyal, calm, committed. You could have been married and been in a solid commitment, or you could have just been viewed as just like a pillar of the local community. The Knight of Pentacles, again, solid, stable, committed. You could have been someone that is very charitable, someone that gives back to the community or serves the community very well. Invested, like money reinvested into the local area, whether that's the structure or the people. You know, like financially, you could have sunk a lot of money back into the community. Or being, you know, very charitable to others that were in need. The Nine of Cups, you could have felt really fulfilled in what you did. I mean, someone that helps others for a living will sleep well at night, you know, like they will feel like they have purpose. They won't feel afraid of things like longevity or how many years they're going to live or status or ego. You know, it's someone without ego. A strong sense of fulfillment, Capricorn, okay? This is your karma. This is your... Your karma is to feel very contented, like you don't rely upon status, you don't rely upon ego or, you know, vanity or vanity projects, nothing like that. Very, very wholesome. A wholesome appeal. That's nice. Okay, let's go on to Aquarius. Spirit, please can you give me a card to represent one of Aquarius's past lives, the past life that's most relevant to them right now? The Star card. Oh my god, your major arcana. Okay, so you were in a previous life a spiritual guide, a light worker. Okay, so someone that helped people to feel emotionally better, to be a better version of themselves. Okay, to ascend, to to seek spiritual alignment, to seek spiritual growth, personal discovery. You could have been very good at motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, influential, you know, to want to make people to want to do better, whether that's like young people or just anybody. You want to serve the community, and it's by inspirational talking and helping them to see the light, see the way. Changing their moral compass, okay, helping them to mature, helping them to shift their mindset. Four of Cups with the Queen of Cups. That's so weird that came out. That came out for another reading, didn't it? And so did the Star. I'll have to rewind and see which one it was. Or was it Libra? Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It's like being closed off to love. like, you know, almost like neglecting relationships because you're just more obsessed with like your love for your faith, or infatuated with, you know, being able to help others, being able to solve people's problems, serve people. The majority of your time goes on to the community rather than a love interest. Or even self, okay? Even self. Seven of Cups, being at a crossroads permanently, okay? Like, this could be a problem because you're not investing into yourself, into the relationship. So you find yourself constantly at a crossroads, potentially feeling misunderstood at times. Your karma is the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, okay? So high anxiety, feeling like the people that you care about the most, you've let them down, that you are the juggler, you can't keep all your responsibilities going, you're overgiving, okay? You've got a tendency to overgive, and that's a strength. Of course it is, because it benefits everyone else. But when it comes to a partnership between you and one other person, a marriage, a relationship, your relationship with yourself, okay, it's causing a lot of issues. There's a need for balance, okay, and this is like your lesson to learn. This is what you can learn from that happened in a previous life. Okay, on to Pisces. Okay, Spirit, please can you give me a card, one to represent the most relevant past life that Pisces has had, because we've had many past lives, but the most relevant one for this moment, for this point in their life. That was straight away. The Justice card. Okay, so in a past life, you were a judge or some sort of public servant, so you could have worked in a criminal justice system in some capacity, and you may do that now, or you may feel a strong sense of right and wrong, fairness. You know, you may find it really, really difficult to tolerate injustice. There's a lot of like professions or personal qualities that we have to do with justice, okay? So like teaching young people right from wrong, helping adults to see right from wrong. Yeah, that is part of being an educator. It's part of being a parent. It's part of, you know, if you're a bystander to something in the street, intervening or getting help, being a witness to something. Okay, so but you could have been the person that assessed people to say pass or fail, or judged people to say right or wrong, guilty or not guilty, okay, or some sort of role like that. Okay, so aspects of this previous life. The Queen of Swords. Ooh. The Queen of Swords can be a divorce card. It's someone who's, they're determined to seek, you know, fairness, to speak the truth, to obtain the facts and the reality rather than be lied to. Swords are knowledge and communication. It's about using facts, using knowledge, using communication, seeking the truth, gaining justice. You could have been someone that was like sent to arrest people, couldn't you? That would be cool. Another aspect of this, okay, we've got the Seven of Wands, which is arguments, conflict, physical conflict with others. Sometimes you could have felt internal conflict, okay, like a mix of emotions. Knight of Wands is like impulsive, passionate, fast moving. The Eight of Pentacles is growth and expansion. So it makes me think of like a bounty hunter, like someone that's sent to arrest people, detain people, imprison people. I mean, before they had justice systems, you know, there was like ways that people sought justice. That's more to do with capital punishment, you know, like torture, murder. You've got armies, you've got mercenaries, but it's something to do with, it could have been more of, it doesn't have to be that physical, but it's just because we've got the Wands energy and the conflict. The competition, making a lot of money, you know, like it does make me think of like someone that's got like a bounty on them or something. You could have been the person that physically goes and brings people to justice, like collect them from their home or wherever they are hiding. Let's get one more. Oops, this pile. It could have been like what you did for work, you know, or you could have been part of the process of bringing them to justice, like once they were in court. Or Seven of Pentacles. Ooh. Seven of Pentacles is about reflection. Seven is a number of reflection. Seven of Pentacles is like what's been achieved so far. Is it enough? It's looking back at the past. What money's been made, what time, money and energy is being put into something. Is it enough? And that's your karma. So that could be a challenge. It could be a strength. You may be very reflective at the moment, Pisces. You may be someone that's like wondering if your past actions were right or wrong, or why you spent so much time doing what you were doing. You may feel that it was time well spent. You knew that it was dutiful, that it was the right thing to do. That's interesting. I wonder if there's any Pisces out there that like is part of the justice system. Or I would love to know. I might make the comments open on this one to see what people's actual careers are, or like if this resonates at all, because it's something quite different. Okay, thank you for listening, everyone. Thanks to the moderators. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, and stay tuned for the weekly love readings, which will be done on Friday. Okay, because Friday is like the day. Friday night, potentially. What day are we on today? It's Wednesday, isn't it? I had double dentist today. Ugh. Ugh. Well, very good, and I went to the dentist for 2 appointments. Anyway, all right, take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining me.